Hello everyone, my name is Ido MA. Welcome to Real Class again, and this time we are still looking at malapropisms, which simply means misuse of words in English or words often misused. Alright, let's look at the first one here. We look at peppery and pepperish. Now, there is no such word as pepperish. Alright, the only recognized word is peppery. The food is peppery, not pepperish. There is nothing like pepperish in English. Then we look at tricky, and again we have tricky and of course trickish. Alright, so no such word as trickish in English. Something is said to be tricky if it appears in a corny way. Alright, it is tricky, nothing like trickish. Alright, so this does not exist in the use of English, and these two does not exist. Alright, so that's that. Then we talk about the difference between the artist and artist. The artist that ends in E and one that does not end in E. The one that ends in E here talks about performers like singers. Davido is an artist, so you would use the first spelling here that ends in E. Then when you talk about the one that does not end in E, it talks about somebody who draws, for example, with paints and all of that to create aesthetics or beauty. That's the artist you have here. But the one that ends in E is a performer, like a singer. When you say Whiskey is an artist, use the first spelling, not the second one. Alright? So we talk about sins. 4. These two words appear to create a lot of problems for users of English. Since is used for a specific period of time, while for is used for duration of what? Time. I've been here since Friday. I've been here since. That means Friday is a specific time. But I've been here for 5 hours. Duration of time. I've been here for 5 hours. I've been here for 2 weeks. Not I have been here since 2 weeks. But I've been here since on Saturday. Alright? Saturday is a specific, time. So when a particular time is specific, you mention the time, like Friday, Saturday, you use since. But if it is duration, alright, you use for. I've been here for 5 years now. Alright? But I've been here since November, specific time. So you know the difference between since and for. Once more, since for a specific time, for duration of time. Then we talk about ghastly and fatal accidents. Again, many users of English fail to recognize the discrepancies or the difference between ghastly and fatal. Accident is said to be ghastly if it does not involve death, while when it is fatal, it involves death. Alright, you can't say that it's a fatal accident, or you can't say that it's a fatal accident, yes, when nobody actually died, but many persons are not aware. When nobody actually died in the course of the accident, use the word ghastly. Oh, it was a ghastly motor accident. Alright, nobody actually died, but it was a fatal accident. The driver and one other passenger died. Alright, yes, so use ghastly when death does not involve, and use fatal when death is involved. Then you talk about bride price and dowry. Alright, although dowry is not on the board, but because of bride price, I've got to explain. Bride price has to do with the amount paid when one wants to marry a particular woman, especially in Africa. Alright, yes, while dowry, many persons think you also call it dowry. No, dowry has to do with the belongings of the woman, alright, that the woman takes to the husband's house when they marry her. All of those items she carries to her husband's house when she's married, we refer to those items as dowry. Alright, but bride price has to do with the money you pay, alright, to marry the woman in question. Alright, so don't confuse the two. And again, we have these contacts here and contracts. As you see on the board, there is a difference between contacts and contracts. many persons will say, I don't want to contact the disease. To contact means to have meeting. That means you are saying, I don't want to have meeting with disease. All right. So the word contact, of course, has to do with meeting and all of that. But if you are talking about to, disease or to get infected with disease, use the word contract. I have contracted disease, not I have contacted disease. All right. Yes. But when you contact, you have meeting and all of that. But contract disease, not contact disease. Again, there is another thing that you need to know. Of course, let me just make reference to that, which is the one people refer to as quick notice. Say the landlord has given me quick notice. There is no English as quick notice. Even if it is quick notice, it's still not correct. It is called, notice to quit. That is how it is called in English. Notice to quit. The landlord has served me notice to quit. All right, so that's that. Then we talk about run for dear life. Some persons do say that they are all running for their dear lives. It's not correct. The right language to use is they are all running for dear life. No matter how many they are, it's run for dear life. It is stagnant. It does not change in the use of English. No matter how many they are, they are running for dear life. That's how it is, not their lives or their dear life. Don't even put there. All right. If you put there, if you render it ungrammatical, to render it, grammatically or incorrect. Now we talk about round up and round off. All right. Round up simply means to arrest. All right. Round up simply means to get ready to finish what you are doing. All right. For example, the policemen rounded up the criminals. All right, that means they arrested those criminals. But I am getting ready to round off this lecture. All right, getting ready to end or put an end to the lecture. Okay, so that's that. Now we talk about the word calculating. All right, that's to be skillful. Calculating and calculative. Many persons will say Okocha is a calculative player, and it's very wrong. There is nothing like Okocha is a calculative player. Or Messi is a calculative player, but you will say Okocha or Messi is a what? Calculating player. It's calculating, not calculative. All right? Yes. And then we talk about likeness. When you see likeness, what also comes to your mind is liking. Likeness here on the board simply means to resemble someone. You can't say I am doing this for you because of my likeness for you. It's not wrong. It's wrong rather. If you are saying I'm doing this for you because of my likeness for you, it means I'm doing this for you because I resemble you or you resemble me. All right. The correct grammar is I'm doing this for you because of my liking for you. All right, not my likeness. Likeness means resemblance. You resemble that. All right. Now we talk about branch, and anytime you see branch, what comes to your mind is call at. All right. Many persons misuse the word branch to visit someone unexpectedly. All right. Not I branched at his house. No, it is I called at his house. All right, but he was not around. Not I branched. All right, I called at his house, but he wasn't around. That's the correct grammar. Then again, the next one here is talkless. All right, many persons will say you cannot even read, talk less of writing. That's a very bad English. Use let alone instead of talk less. You cannot even read, let alone writing. So it is let alone, not talkless. There is no such English as talkless. It does not exist. Then at, in. All right. Use at for a smaller place, while in for a bigger place. I live at Ugbowo in Benin. That means Ugbowo is smaller than Benin. All right. So you use at for a smaller place, while in for a bigger place. All right. Yes. Then you talk about alumnus. Many persons always get themselves confused with alumnus, alumni, alumna, and alumni. All right. Now, when you talk about alumnus simply means a singular male graduate of an institution. Singular male graduate of an institution is an alumnus of that school. For example, I am an alumnus of University of Benin. All right. That's for singular male graduate. But plural male graduate is alumni. All right. You can say Mr. Ido and Johnson are alumni of Uniben. All right, that's plural male graduates of that institution. All right. Then when you talk about alumna, The next word then, alumna simply means singular female graduates. All right, Jennifer is an alumna of Uniport. That means singular male graduate. Then the plural is alumni. All right, that's plural male female graduates. Jennifer, Faith, and Precious, three of them are sisters. All right, and they are alumni of Uniports. All right, again, don't forget, alumnus, singular male graduates, alumni, plural male graduates, alumna, singular female graduates, alumni, plural female graduates. However, alumni, you see in brackets, can be used generally for the plural of all of them. For example, I belong to Uniden Alumni Association. All right, yes, so alumni can be the plural generally for all of them. Then we talk about many and much. Again, many finds both words very confusing. You don't use much for humans. All right, something you count, you can count, something that are countable. All right, you don't use much. All right, in this class, the students are much. It's a very wrong English. You can't use much for human. All right, because you can count. All right, yes, but you use many. The students are many in that class, but we have much water. All right, in the drum. Not the students are much, no, but the students are many. Then we talk about fall and fell. When it means to go down to the ground or floor, the present tense is fall, past tense is fell, past participle is falling, which is fallen. For example, the girl falls down every time. Yesterday she fell, past tense. She has fallen again. That's fallen. Don't forget, though the progressive tense is ing, but that's not what we are discussing right now. But when it has to do with trees, for you to cut down a particular tree or any tree at all, the present tense itself is fell. All right, past tense is felled, past participle is still felled. The man fells trees every time. Yesterday he felled trees. He has felled the trees again. All right, so that's that. Then we talk about room, chance. Okay, now when you flag down a moving vehicle, don't forget, if a vehicle is moving and you as a passenger, you want to stop, in quotes, that vehicle, you don't use the word stop. You want to stop, you flag down. That's the right word. You flag down. And when you flag down the moving vehicle, don't ask if there is chance in the bus or vehicle. All right, ask if there is a room in the bus. Ask if there is a room in the bus. There is nothing like is there chance. It's room. All right, yes, and you eventually sit right there. When you are making a telephone call, somebody asks you, where are you? Don't say I am in the bus right now. Say I am on the bus. All right, any means of public transportation carries on. All right, you are on the bus, not in the bus. However, you can visit someone in your car, not on your car. But if it is public transport, you are on it. All right, yes, that's why they will tell you passengers on board, not in board. All right, yes. Then when you want to, in quotes, get down from a moving vehicle, or when the vehicle has to stop, if you want to tell the driver to stop, you don't say stop, you tell the driver to pull over. Don't say I want to come down. To come down means to fall. Tell the driver I want to alight or disembark. All right, then when he pulls over, that stops. Then you want disembark or alight. Take notes. As someone standing by the roadside, you flag down a moving vehicle. All right, yes, then you board it. When you are about to what, disembark or alight, what happens? Tell the driver to pull over, that you want to alight or disembark. All right, don't forget, you also ask the conductor, whoever is directing the vehicle, if there is a room, not chance. Then I've just told you now, you don't get down. All right, get down, you alight or disembark from a moving vehicle. Again, don't forget, it is in the long run, not on the long run. There is no such English as on the long run. All right, so The correct grammar is what? In the long run. All right? Yes, this is the correct grammar, not on the long run. On the long run is not recognized in the use of English. And that's that. In our next lecture, we shall look at a more vital topic.